Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Glad you're tuning in. We're going over today's trading recap. And man, it's been a rough one. It was great at first, and I blew it at the end of the day. And I'm frustrated at myself, I'll tell you what. So, and there's probably some good lessons in here today on how not to trade, So, hope you might get something from this of value. So let's take a look and I'll show you guys what I traded today, how it went, and where I really screwed up. So first off, let's take a look at the performance here. Do you guys see this? This is absolutely nuts, okay? So I did great all day long, right up until this point. Real nice trades, plenty of scalp trades, but I got to a great position. I was up 947 bucks on the day. Trading a couple different things. I was trading CARV ARPO. Mainly CARV was a good one that I was trading. End of the day, probably about, 10 minutes left on the day. I'm sitting up 947 bucks. And I see a potential trade on a stock. What is it? NVFY. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, let me just cross that $1,000 threshold. It's one of those things. It's like, can you not be happy, Joey? Seriously. With your performance, that you have to go in and take another trade on the day, like just to get you just above $1,000. I mean, $20, $50 is not going to make any difference. But just to see the $1,000 is it's a stupid thing to shoot for, and it really screwed me up today. So before I get into any other trades, let's cover the other trades real quick. Because this one, there's a lot of explaining to do here, and I have to show you where I screwed up and what really, just screwed up my performance. Anyways, real quick on the update, I'm sitting up 403 bucks on the day. So I recovered, but not quite well, and I made just some YOLO trades, which I shouldn't be doing. So let's real quickly move to CARV, because this was one of the main ones I traded today. Okay, so starting off on this chart, looking at the daily chart here, 1 minute. I traded, so I saw CARV earlier in the day, just curling up, and I got a little trade right in here, so a nice little scalp trade. I had no idea it was going to push as hard as it did, and so I ended up selling out, but I got a nice profit here just on this tiny little move here on that curl up. And as it went up, we've got this big problem. I don't typically like trading these halt stocks where there's so much movement to the upside that they continuously go into a halt, because it's hard to get in. It's hard to get filled sometimes when you're trying to hop into these. And then the other problem is if they flip to the downside too and you're trying to sell and get out of there, they can be really hard to get out of. And you can be stuck on halts going down. So when it gets to this craziness, it's for me, it gets more difficult to trade. Now, there are some potentials for huge gains if you can time it correctly, but there's also potential for huge losses. And I remember watching it right in here. This halt, once it opened up, it just flushed down real quick. And I mean, when you're looking at that, that's a dramatic, quick sell-off. And was glad I, didn't get caught up in that at that time. But had I known it was going to continue this hard, obviously I would have kept it. But I just didn't realize it was going to run that hard, that fast. And so I kind of took it off my radar because I just knew it wasn't for me in this area. Just too difficult to get in and out and super volatile. We hit that peak. came down, and as you can see, if you were stuck here, boy, oh boy, was that nerve-wracking. Because look at that. The absolute drop, I mean, that drop there from 33 to 26 is drastic. You know, so if you ended up getting in here thinking, okay, this thing is just going to keep going, maybe you got in here, and then you get stuck in this area, you couldn't sell. I mean, you could be down huge, and you might be. So if you are, let me know in the comments. Appreciate when you guys are honest and, you know, tell me about all the red days as well as the green. But, you know, I try to be honest with you guys as well and show all my red days too. So anyways, that was craziness going on. And in that meantime, I traded a few other stocks. I hopped in ARPO, got a few trades on that. And anyways, later on the day, I did trade this a little bit more. I knew it was going to be super volatile. So like on this curl here, I was able to get in, I think around 34.74 and got a little nice gain on that. But once we, you know, reached this area, it was just definite resistance. So just try to get what I could on it. And I did pretty well. So I also got a few trades on ARPO. This was a little bit slower for me. Now, earlier in the day was, or I should say maybe afternoon here, this had a great gap up pre-market. As you can see, it was, I guess, some news on it, and it gapped up huge. But since then, I mean, it just traded sideways for a long time in this range. And, you know, in the morning we had this push, this pullback, it consolidated for a while. And I got interested actually in this area right here. So I went in for one of my trades right in here thinking, okay, this kind of looks like a flat top area. If we push here, we might get that break and on to newer levels. So I hopped in right here. It was at 275. And I was right but wrong. So I was just wrong on the timing here. So had the right idea. It pushes up and just immediately pulls back, and it was kind of a dramatic sell-off. And I just ended up having to cut the loss down here at the bottom, which sucked. So it was a, you know, good sized loss, but it wasn't dramatic enough to take me red, which was good. So I had my sizing right on that. I think it was 1,000 shares. And from there, you know, pulled back, consolidated, and then we started getting into this area where it started stair-stepping up. And so I got into that, and this here area here was great, but at the same time, it was like these slow steps. Like it was heading in the right direction, but they were just small little green candles. So I was taking scalp trades all throughout. And then we get to this area, boom, where it just explodes and almost wants to, like, what feels like go parabolic with these next couple moves. And try to capitalize on a bit, and I did. But that was pretty much ARPO for me today, and I don't think I traded it after this area here. So I want to get to the meat of where things got crazy for me today. So let's take a look at that real quick. So anyways, I'm sitting up. What is it like? There's 30 minutes left on the day, and I made one of my last trades, and that's where I'm up $947. I'm thinking, hey, I'm in a great position, and you know, I don't necessarily have to trade anymore. I should have walked away, hindsight, and but I felt like, hey, let me just put, you know, 60 more bucks on the table, and I'll step up into, you know, just past $1,000. And just that mental number there of like just being shy of $1,000, I was like, let me, you know, if there's an opportunity, I'll take it. So what happened was NVFY came up on my radar right in this area here. Now I didn't trade it prior in the day because there was really no volume, and the thing moved up, and it was just crazy volatile. It was up and down, huge ranges here, and wasn't really impressed with that. But once I saw it started consolidating here and then going up higher, I thought, hey, if we break that area, you know, there might be another huge rip. But it was already towards the end of the day, so I ended up hopping in for a quick little break. I was just thinking, hey, I'll just do a quick little scalp here. Got in at, I think, 660. And, you know, it flushes just a little bit here. I'm thinking, let me just hold it. And by that time, you know, boom, goes in, market closes, goes in after hours, and it sells off a little bit more. And so I'm thinking, okay, let me just wait for a, you know, pop back up, and I'll get out of it. And we didn't get that. We got a tiny little move here, and then this huge dramatic sell-off. Okay, so what was running through my head was watching this unfold this quickly, this fast, seeing these red candles go this quickly, this, you know, at this point, right in this spot here, I'm still holding, and I'm going, holy shit, I'm down $800 on this one trade. Are you kidding me? So I took 1,000 shares, which was, I didn't think going into it was that going to be that big of a deal because I was just going for a quick scalp trade, but it was a bigger size position, and I should have scaled way back for the end of the day and being up on my profits. But then again, I had the idea to just do a quick little scalp trade, and you know, the size won't matter that much. And however, now I'm caught in this position going downhill. At this point, I'm like down $800. I'm thinking, holy shit, are you kidding me? I'm almost wiped out all my profits. So boom, we get another rip down further down. Now down here at the very bottom, I'm sitting down $1,200 red. And I didn't close out yet, but I was just thinking, you're kidding me. I am now red on the day if I close out on this. And I was just thinking, I just want just a little bit of a bounce, and I'll just have to cut it. And so that's what I did. I waited for a bounce on this. We got up to I think I sold at 566. And from taking that loss from here to here, that was basically a little bit more than a $900 loss. So I looked at it, and that left me after that loss there, $9 positive on the day. So neutral. So here I am on one trade after hours, completely blew out all my profits for the day. And it's just like, you did it again, you big dummy. And so I guess that greed of just wanting to be up just a little bit more turned into this big drastic thing. And so this is the note I want to make. I want to say don't get greedy, but the real truth is you're going to feel that way sometimes. It's just a matter of how you can manage that. You know, can you have the discipline to shut down your system and walk away when you're up a good amount? And for me, I have a really difficult time doing that. So this is the mess that it'll get you in, and it sure was not worth it at all. But anyways, guys, I took that loss there, and then lo and behold, it starts ripping up. So this crazy, irrational, huge sell-off to this huge move up is just, this isn't a good stock to be trading for me at least, and it's just way too volatile. Sure, there's plenty of opportunity, but you know, where I was at on the day, I should have just walked away, and I had a hard time doing that. So when I see this ripping up and just taking this previous massive loss, I'm going, okay, I'm YOLOing in, I'm FOMOing in on this, and I'm going in. This thing is pushing hard, and I might be a big fool here for doing it, and I think I was, but anyways, I decided to hop in. So I got in, let me find it for you guys. I got in 620, yeah, I believe that was 621, or sorry, no, 620, yeah. Got in at 620, 1,000 shares, pretty big size for me, and held it. And I go, I'm holding it on this one. I'm riding this, and it worked out for me really well. So the thing spiked, blew up, went all the way up to 717, but I ended up selling into this push right at $6.99, so $7. So it was a really solid trade there, guys. That put me up $800 on the day, $799 in one trade. Very risky. Shouldn't have, you know, I should have done this last couple stuff, but I was desperate, I felt, and that's not a good place to be in. But hey, that worked for me in a sense and got me back up $800 on the day. So I felt really good about that. And what happens? What do you think happens after that? A little bit more greed comes in. Yeah, sure does. And I decide, hey, this had a solid move here and lots of strength. So let me maybe try to find a pullback here, get in on a dip, and maybe just put a little bit more green on the table today. If, you know, decides it wants to rip and I'll sell. Didn't work out for me. So took a loss. Here it was. Bought in with the idea of getting that dip. I bought in at 675. Now this time I took half the share size, which was good. Taking a little bit more risk off the table, but still a, you know, a greed trade, if you will. Got in at 675. Drops further down, and I go, oh, are you kidding me? So now I'm going red and red and red, and I decide, all right, this thing I know is it's crazy, but it looks like you just have to buy on the huge red sell-offs at these bottoms, and then sell at the highs because the thing is just super crazy. It's so whippy. So I was thinking that it would correct and retest at some point, but anyways, I was holding throughout that. Probably down about $400 at that point. And I don't know exactly what it was, but anyways, decided to add half share size again at 612. So further down here, kind of at that bottom. We get a little bit of a correction, but then it just goes much further down. So I ended up saying, you know what, let's not wreck myself. I just got up 800. Let's not completely blow this again and possibly even go red. So I decided to cut the loss, get out at 602. So I took the loss there, and that was, I think, yeah, about $400. Put me down to $400 on the day. And then after that, I took one little tiny more trade on it. Just a real quick trade. Bought at 622, sold at 624. Got in, got out. I just decided I'm not gonna overstay my welcome. I've already done that plenty enough, and it didn't work out for me. So it's gone downhill, and I gotta wipe this one off the table for me. This thing, I don't ever want to see this stock again. We might in the future, but boy, was it whippy. It was crazy, and it caused a lot of I guess emotion for me today. And I know you're supposed to be emotionless when you're trading. And that is a great way to be, but, you know, we're only human, and there's going to be emotions. This is, as much as you want to push them away, it's just how it works, you know, especially with the day trading. So, yeah, guys, look at that. I mean, this is a great chart, other than this backside. This should not even... This kind of stuff gets you in real big trouble, and it did for me today. I mean, you know, I lost half my stuff today and almost went red. It was just over a stupid move. At the end of the day, just thinking, oh, let me just put a little bit more green at the end of the day and get me over 1,000. I'll be a happy camper with that, and that was the wrong mistake. So I hope you guys really got something from this today. Let me know if you traded NVFY and if it was a disaster for you, or maybe you made some green on it. But just by looking at this, I mean, this is crazy. So should have looked at the writing on the wall. And sometimes with these, I mean, you can really see them rip hard. And, you know, I thought that's kind of what we were going for here. And we did get it, but it was after obviously a dramatic sell-off, and I had to sell at that point, you know. And I felt dumb too, because like here I am buying this spot, selling down here, and then just to get back in to try to ride this next wave. So I could have held it, but the thing was just way too volatile. Had this big red continued on, I would have been down a whole lot more. So guys, that's where I sit for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. These red day, well, this isn't a red day, it's a green day, so kind of lucked out there, but the red days are hard to record, and even these days like this, where I do a good job at getting to a nice position and I just screw it up royally. They're hard to do, you know. Hard to be honest with the world, the YouTube world. But I try to do my best here and show you guys the real deal and just how it goes. I am not by any means a amazing trader, as you can see, but I hope maybe you get a little bit of, you know, some lessons from this and maybe what not to do. So hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. See you on the next one. Just make sure to hit that smash that like button if you could. I'd appreciate it. And make sure to subscribe if you want to continue with watching these recaps that I'll post in the future. So see you on the next one.